Hello, I'm DJ Neige, and this is what we had to watch. This week in Vampire Month, let's take a look at The Little Vampire. Released by New Line Cinema, this movie had a different approach to vampirism by taking creatures famous for savagely devouring the living and making them cute. But in the end, does this movie succeed in giving us all the warm fuzzies? Well, let's take a look. The movie begins with a bunch of Tim Burton rejects praying to the world's slowest moving comet. But just as they begin to reenact Raiders of the Lost Ark, this cheap Van Helsing knockoff shows up to wave a Swiss Army crucifix in their face. Quick! Legolas! Catch our generic magical artifact! Wait, why is the kid from Jerry Maguire floating in the middle of the ocean? What just happened? So it turns out it was all a dream in the mind of our protagonist, Tony, played by Jonathan Lipnicki. And I just want to say, this is where the movie falls apart. I mean, usually in kids' movies, the main character is adventurous or some kind of rebel. Tony, on the other hand, is a mama's boy, so rather than sympathize with his fear of vampires and stuffed monkeys, kids just want to beat him up. See? Even the movie agrees with me. Anyway, so after some quick exposition, we learn that Tony's family has just moved to Scotland for his dad's work, and ever since he's been having nightmares, leading to an obsession with vampires.
I've dreamt it every night since I've been here. And then there's a gathering.
A gathering of what?
A gathering of vampires.
Bloody Yankee! Go back to America! Freedom! So after we see that Tony's the least popular kid in school, his dad tries to cheer him up with a present.
A golf club. But there's no one to play with.
Oh, well, that's the beauty of golf. You don't need anyone to play with.
Yeah, that's right, Father of the Year. Just tell your kid he's a loser.
Good.
Tony's parents then go out for the evening, letting his obsession run amok.
Oh, Tony! What a fright you gave me! I didn't see you sitting there, bet. Oh, can you stop my heart so you didn't? It's near enough stopping as it is.
You know, I see her mouth moving, but all I can hear is haggis, haggis, William Wallace, bagpipes, kilts, haggis. We then cut to what I imagine Tony's life will resemble after 20 or so years of obsessing over vampires, but really, this is another vampire hunter who, while out on his nightly patrol, catches sight of a bat and chases it to Tony's house. We're then introduced to Rudolph, a young vampire who's mistaken Tony for one of his own. You know, because every time I see a kid with fake fangs giving CPR to a monkey, I automatically think vampire.
I know you. I saw you in my dream.
Rudolph, then realizing that Tony isn't a young English girl whom he can whisk away to Neverland, makes a break for it but is too weak to fly away.
Do you know where I can get a cow?
Is that what kids are calling it these days?
No.
Yeah, you know, man, a little bit of cow, some moo juice, some meat with dairy, a sausage McMuffin, you know what I'm saying? But no, Rudolph actually needs a cow for, well, nourishment. This is still a kid's movie, right? So while Rudolph devours the dumb animal, the vampire hunter shows up again and mistakes Tony for one of the undead.
See you escape from me now!
So as Tony and Rudolph have both saved each other's lives, the two of them decide to become friends.
Come on, let's play. Yes, we can.
So after jumping up and down for a few hours, Tony decides to call it a night. The writers then decide to throw some more exposition in our faces.
But I thought vampires drink human blood.
We do, but we've got to make do with cows.
Why?
Because we've been hunted for centuries. We always have to hide. We want to become humans, not eat them for dinner.
They then arrive back at the house, and Tony invites Rudolph to stay the night, as the vampire hunter is still out and about.
I want to be a vampire too.
Oh my gosh, this kid's gonna grow up to be Bella. The next day, we see that finally having a friend has given Tony some newfound confidence.
Out of my way, losers!
Oh, we'll teach you to talk with a funny accent! Well, looks like it's back to the coddling arms of his mother.
I know it's gonna be rough making friends like that.
I have a friend.
You do? What's his name?
Rudolph.
Am I the only one who's disturbed by this scene?
Oh, what's he like?
I mean, right now it's harmless, but just listen to the dialogue when you put music under it.
Very cool.
I know it's gonna be rough making friends like that.
I have a friend.
You do? What's his name?
Rudolph.
Where does he live?
Not far.
Oh, what's he like?
He's very, very cool.
Well, I think you should invite him for a sleepover.
I already did.
Anyway, so night eventually falls and Rudolph
Too
returns.
dangerous. I only came because of this. Where have you seen it? Why do you want to know? It's very important. I'll only tell you if you take me flying again.
Dude, this is a horrible friendship. I mean, they're only talking to each other because they both want something. Anyway, so after Tony tells Rudolph about his dream, Rudolph exposits about a magical amulet and a comet that can turn all the vampires human.
I'll help you find it. That must be what my dream really means. Yes, you're to join our quest.
The quest for the Holy Grail.
Tony then has to run off and hide as Rudolph sees his family approaching.
Mama, Papa!
Rudolph.
You know, for people who are constantly being hunted, you'd think they dress less conspicuously. Tony is discovered, however, by Rudolph's Hot Topic poster boy brother. Tony then tries to explain that he's Rudolph's friend, but Rudolph's father will have none of it.
Leave, I say!
Wow, and I thought Dracula was goofy. The vampire hunter then appears and moves in for the kill.
Get back! Do your work!
I saw this on Animal Planet! You have to make yourself as big a target as possible! Tony then rushes to the rescue, but the vampire hunter goes after him instead because he doesn't realize that the only person in the graveyard dressed like a normal human being is in fact a normal human being. Tony then falls down a shaft a la Batman Begins, and the vampire hunter pulls out a gun? A friggin' gun? The groundskeeper then shows up to shoo off the vampire hunter and his gun, leaving Rudolph's family to thank Tony for all his bravery.
What you did was foolish.
You're welcome.
Tony then recognizes the amulet from his dream and touches the enchanted bling bling, causing him and Rudolph's father to share a vision with clues to the stone's location. Rudolph's father then agrees to let Tony help with their search, but not before Tony and Rudolph get some petty revenge on those bullies from school.
I don't think so.
Sexually ambiguous 10-year-old!
Sleep well last night, girls. Carry these. Yes, master.
You